The Degen token on the base chain seems to be the mother of all pump and dumps. We have seen quite a bit of a rally with the Coinbase listing. Subsequently, there was a short squeeze, but since that short squeeze, we are rather trickling downwards. Can we see a recovery? Let's have a look at some on-chain data. Let's look at the blockchain data most people aren't considering. Now we're currently at 0.75 cents. And this month we went up by 41%, but most of that was due to the Coinbase listing and then the subsequent short squeeze. Now Degen launched its own chain, the Degen chain. You could simply bridge over funds from Base to Degen and then you could swap various altcoins. All of those altcoins are directly linked with the Degen token. So when the Degen token goes down, then those altcoins go down to the same degree. That's why we are seeing red everywhere, because Degen is going down and pushing down those liquidity pools. Now there have been two waves of attention. The first one was with the launch of the Degen chain. A lot of money went into the token. Then things went quiet again and then came the Coinbase listing. And so if we just add up all the trading volume over time, we see quite a bit of a step function here. But that's all old news, right? This happened on the 2nd of October. And if you're early with news like this, of course, you can make money. But then what happens is people bet on falling prices, right? The price was deflating, the interest was deflating, the trading volume was going down. And when there are enough people betting on falling prices, because that's what usually happens after such a listing, people take profit. But if there's enough people that bet on falling prices, a short squeeze happens. So people simply buy up the token to force liquidate all those short sellers. And again, those effects are temporary, but they can have a lot of price impact as well. Now let's have a look at what's currently happening with Degen. Who is currently buying? Who is currently selling? What's actually going on? Before we do this, feel free to subscribe. I publish videos on Degen regularly on this channel. And it's not just videos on Degen, it's videos on a lot of different altcoins. Now, according to the Base Chain Explorer, we've got more than 700,000 holders of Degen. But not all of those holders have a lot of the token. On the left side, we see the number of holders that have roughly $1,000 worth of the token. On the right side, we see the number of holders with $100,000 of the token. In the middle, we see the number of holders with $10,000. And so we see this initial excitement that then peaked in May of this year, and subsequently all wallet cohorts tended to sell. Now there was a bit of a spike due to the Coinbase listing again at the beginning of October, but that also tends to now fade. Now there is one more interesting data point. It seems like small retail tends to be a bit slower. So the attention for small retail peaked at the beginning of May. The attention of medium-sized retail peaked at the end of March. The number of whales peaked already at the 15th of March. So the larger the wallet, the earlier they exited, and that delta is several days in delay. The price, by the way, peaked at the end of March. So the whales were a bit too early to sell. Medium-sized retail did it right. And of course, small retail was exit liquidity, as happens so often. The main problem with crypto YouTube is conflict of interest. Too many YouTubers shill garbage, promote garbage, and fill up their pockets in the background. Not this channel. Instead, there's simply the offer where I share my skills, my perspectives to you, and where I also share direct access to me, where you can ask me any questions. Feel free to check it out. The premium membership link is down below. I believe crypto in general works this way. The whales tend to make the better calls. They tend to take the money from the small people. So of course, Bitcoin is both a game of luck and skill. But the more skill one has, the more the capital concentrates in a wallet. And so that's why I like to look at the larger wallets, right? The larger wallets tend to do on average the better calls. And so yes, recently we do see a bit more trading activity again. But a lot of those buyers and sellers are bot accounts or are very small holders. Because again, the wallets that have at least $1,000 worth of the coin only sum up to less than 5,000. Now, unfortunately, the Degen chain pretty much became a complete failure. In the last 24 hours, we only had $27,000 worth of trading volume. For other blockchains, even the more obscure ones like Phantom, they are in the millions, and the leaders are in the hundreds of millions, even in the billions. And so looking at all of those numbers, it seems like it's all hopeless. It seems like it makes no sense to buy. There is zero attention on the chain. There is zero usage of the chain. Who should buy Degen? But there's one small little glimmer of hope, and that's the buyer versus seller dynamic in the very short term. When we're looking at the number of buyers versus number of sellers, we see quite a bit of an overhang of sellers. So roughly 60% sellers versus 40% buyers. Usually such a big distortion would push down the price much more than just 6%. What this means is that the liquidity is still relatively large relative to the trading volume. So even if people are currently selling massively, even though everybody is super bearish, the price doesn't decline that quickly. And that could give hope that we are somewhat stabilizing in the price. The question though is, will there be another piece of positive news that could potentially double the price? If we don't see that, we are likely going to continue to bleed, but not at a very quick pace. I'm personally not buying Degen right now. I buy other tokens where there's way more momentum, where there's way more attention. If you want to know what I'm buying, feel free to check out the premium membership. There's also a 1-week money back guarantee. So the link is down below. It's thebitcoinstrader.com. There's zero risk for you. You can simply just check it out. And in case you don't like it, just message me within those first 7 days and I'll refund you. Now, if you got some value out of this video, feel free to subscribe. I publish videos regularly. A like would be very much appreciated as well. It helps the channel grow. See you in premium or see you in the next video. Cheers.